Hi, and welcome to another edition of Conversations with the President. I'm your host, Erika Lamb, your 2020 RSAR President. In this episode, we will be chatting with global realtors that are in Nevada and gain some insight into how global has transformed their businesses. My guest today is Dell. He's a realtor, CIPS, and RSAR Global member. We've got Kai, also a realtor, RSAR Global Committee member. Karen from down south, she is also CIPS, the current chair of the Las Vegas Realtors Global Business Committee. And then Rena, also from down south, CIPS, and a prior Las Vegas Realtors past Global Business Committee chair. That's a mouthful. We've got Tony, locally, realtor, RSAR Global Committee member, and Zacarias, also a realtor, CIPS and RSAR Global Committee member. And please join me in saying thank you for joining us today. And now I would like to, before we get into the meeting of the questions, would each one of you please tell our members a little bit about yourself?
My real estate moniker is Trust in Dell when you buy or sell, helping you since 1982. I've been in real estate since 1982 when the interest rates were 18%. I worked in a small college town in Illinois, University of Illinois, Champaign. Interest rates didn't matter. I still sold $1 million worth of real estate, more than I'm selling now as far as transactions go. So I guess the point there is, I don't know why people are complaining about 3.75. I'm totally environmental and global. I've been to 33 countries and still love to travel.
Thank you, Dale.
Sure.
Kai, can we have you please give us a little introduction?
Aloha, my name is Kai Taniguchi. I was born and raised on the island of Oahu. I've lived and visited over 30 countries. I've done international business and logistics in Asia, South America, Africa, Europe, and the Caribbean. And I'm now leveraging my experiences as a serial entrepreneur and a world travel in the real estate industry. And I have just been in the industry for about a year now, so learning a lot from everyone.
Thank you, Kai. Karen, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Karen Smith with Urban Nest Realty. I am the global chair of 2020 in Las Vegas. I am also FIAPSI USA president for the Mountain States Council. I signed into real estate in 2012. Prior to that, I had over 20 years as a paralegal. I am also ARIA membership chair here in Las Vegas. And I got involved, I have my CIPS, my RSPS, which goes along really well with the CIPS, and my green designation. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Rena, please tell us a little bit about you.
I usually would start like, hi, aloha, shalom, marhaba, but was born in Israel, moved here at a younger age. When I was 19, I was brought up into a very multicultural family, and I didn't even realize. I grew up with parents that were born in Turkey, descendant of Spain. So I grew up with Italian music and rock and roll and French, and I used to speak 5 languages fluently. Keeping it down to 3 right now. So it was just the way I was brought up, so it was always global for me, starting at home back in Israel. I started my real estate career back in 1995, and because I spoke different languages and I already had a background of dealing with import, export, manufacturing with different countries before my real estate career, it was natural for me to, it was very natural to work the international market. I felt very comfortable. I felt that this is what I know, and it was amazing. So I never really depended on the market, meaning like promoting myself here, because these clients are really your long life friends and family. I just want to mention that I'm a CIPS, RSPS. I can't remember. I have all these names after, but I was the state chair for the Nevada Global Business Committee as well, back in, I think, 2018. And I'm also the broker owner of Global Time Realty, so global again, here in Nevada. And I can safely say 90% of my clients are international.
That's incredible. Thank you, Rena. And I just thought I would share that Nevada State Global Committee has received the designation of gold for 2019. So that's pretty exciting. If I recall, there are only about 6 state associations that have received gold or higher for last year. So yay. And I know that Rena, you helped us get started with that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, Tony, I want to be where you're at. Are you really there? Is that a virtual background?
It's a virtual background. I missed the beach.
Oh, yes. Well, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I originally came to Reno to retire, but I found that the Reno real estate is so interesting. I decided to get myself a license. And well, first of all, I'm personally very interested in the real estate market now, and has been for the last 4 or 5 years or longer, here in Reno especially. And then my former partners and co-investors and friends and whatnot, they're also interested. So I figure I get myself a license so I can show them houses. But COVID hit, and so we can't do that too much anymore. So that's kind of a bummer. But other than that, I'm just very excited about the whole thing. And I feel very strongly about this global committee because many of my contacts are overseas. And if I can bring them over here, we'll have an even better business here in Reno.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you, Tony. And Tony, I think you have a very fascinating background in traveling. Do you want to share any of that right now?
Well, I was born in Japan, and then I grew up in Thailand, and I went to 3 different high schools in 3 different countries. I have never met another person that has had that experience. And 3 different high schools are spread in 3 different continents, both hemispheres. I spent 1 year of high school in Argentina, believe it or not. Oh, so I've had a very exciting life, and I've seen a lot. I've been very international. I've worked overseas. I've worked here in the US. I lived and worked in China for 10 years. So I know a lot about the Orient, about China. And I've been doing investments pretty much all my life. So I know a thing or two about investments and risk mitigation and risk assessment and all that good stuff. So this is all very exciting. But I have to say that I'm learning a lot from Erika. Erika is my broker. I just want to throw it out there. She's
okay. Well, thank you, Tony. And Zacarias.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Your name starts with a Z, so you're at the end, but I know that you have so much exciting details to share with us about you. So please share.
Okay. Good morning, Erika, and thank you for having me. I got my real estate license in 2005. It's about 15 years now. And I came from the Philippines to find a better financial opportunity here in the United States. I live and work in Los Angeles before coming here to Reno. In coming here, it's so awkward, it's so low profile. It started with an invitation from the mail by a bus tour. So I replied by calling them, and they said they will bring me to Reno together with some other people on a certain weekend. So I waited, and then they called me back. They called me back, and they said we will give you free breakfast free lunch, free dinner, free drinks, and coupon for table games and slot machines, keno, and many more, on the condition that I have to bring $600 with me as a showman. I said, deal. So the first time I came here in Reno, it was so gorgeous. That was in 90s and so beautiful. I've been in many places like Vegas, and I'm impressed in Reno. So I came back and decided to buy a home in Sparks for good. I have no regret, and I stayed here since then. In 2004, I was invited to a sit-in seminar about real estate and how they will sell my home quickly. And it's kind of awkward. And I said to myself, no way. So, but then I realized that those people are making serious money. And from that simple hint, I decided to make an advance and make myself a real estate career and become a realtor.
Wonderful. And then here you are today with us.
Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. Well, I want to thank you for giving our viewers some insight into your background as global realtors. And I'd like to talk more about your experience in the global market. So one of our first questions is, how or what got you started working in the global market? And some of you have touched on that a little bit, but if you could just share with our viewers. And we're going to begin with Kai.
Everyone. So how I got into it is actually my parents are first generation entrepreneurs, and I saw them excel in international business and the international market. And so it made me excited to learn how to diversify my portfolio, as well as learn how to work with others and serve others in the global market. And from there, that kind of inspired me to travel and actually physically live abroad, gain experiences firsthand, and see how it's possible to connect back and forth. And it just opens up a whole new market. So I would have to say that it was definitely my parents that inspired that spark that got me all the way to here as a realtor.
That's awesome. Thank you, Kai. Karen, can you please share with us how you got started working in the global market?
So I got started working in the global market because I had a couple of Chinese clients and then some Ethiopian clients. And during that same period of time, I happened to run into Tamara Tarabusi, who taught the Certified International Properties Specialist class. So she had turned me on to that class, and then she had turned me on to the whole business global committee stuff. And I met Rena there, and it was just, for our group, it was almost like one big happy family, all with the same goal in mind. And it just worked very well for me.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Karen. Rena, can you please share with us how you got started in the global market?
I just want to say something about Karen mentioned about how we became family. That's something that I would encourage any member literally to become global agent or become part of the global business committee, because you make friends, you make family. We travel together, and the connection is totally different. But just wanted to say something about what Karen said. But for me, as I said, I spoke 5 languages. But I want to share a story. So when I started my real estate career, I began just for the local market. And I remember going to my broker. It was really tough. I went through some hardship. My mom passed away, and I was thinking about leaving real estate. And my broker back then, before I became a broker, I had a conversation. I said, I'm done. I'm not making money. Every month I'm paying. She said, why don't you work with your international? You're from Israel. Why you work with all your clients? You speak all these languages, 5 languages. And I said, no, you don't understand. I don't want to work with them. I said, completely no. And she said, take a deep breath. You have a niche, and this niche is amazing. You need to really concentrate on your international. So I thought about it, and I said, okay, I'll give it a chance. Obviously, I did it before that. Most of my business was import, export, international. And that's basically, that happened immediately about a year once I got into the real estate. So from that on, it was just like, it felt like home.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Tony, can you please fill us in on how you got started in the global market?
Well, global is my thing. As I have said before, I'm very global, I'm very international. And I think that especially in this day and age, with so much geopolitical turmoil that we see on a day-to-day basis in the news and whatnot, I think people everywhere want to make sure that they can spread the risk if they're investors. And I primarily work with investors. And I feel like, I mean, Reno here, for example, I think is a great place for even some of the other state investors in other states within the 50 states of America to come and invest. And this is also true for international investors to come and invest, and vice versa. I mean, there are people that are increasingly feeling uncomfortable living in America. They want to immigrate. They want to go somewhere else. And it's probably a good start if they can start investing in real estate in some other parts of the world, to sort of familiarize themselves with other parts of the world first before they actually move there. So that's why I think this global committee is so important for us as realtors and for all the investors that are out there that we want to provide service for.
Perfect. Thank you, Tony. Zacarias, can you please fill us in on how you got started in the global market?
Yeah, by being a CIPS, I use that designation as like a vehicle to go foreign lands and meet other member of this huge and friendly organization founded by the National Association of Realtors. And it's very much unique. I'll tell you, like it's like you are invested in to go places and meet with other people for fun. And when you come home, you still have the desire to aim and plan for like where you want to go next.
That's great. Thank you. And Del, can you please fill us in? How did you get started working in the global real estate market?
Well, it's kind of funny. It was a periphery endeavor from the global environmental effort, and trying to save the world, trying to do all that stuff. I was in India in the Peace Corps, and I've been back 7 times, and I realize being global is really important. I actually had 3 transactions kind of off the cuff from India. And I almost had one like last week back to India from people who wanted to pursue the, I guess, the cheaper lifestyle or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if that answers the question, but my outlook is so international. I mean, I feel like I'm like multi-cosmic.
That's great. Well, and just something I don't know if our viewers have realized just listening to each one of our panelists, but you had some who were born and raised in other countries, some who were born and raised in multicultural families, and then you have some that walked into this just working with international clients and wanted to learn more. And so as you see this wonderful family of international realtors, they come from different aspects. You don't have to necessarily have been born in another country or have even worked with international clients, but if you just have an interest, there's an opportunity for you. And so I would like to ask each one of our panelists, what has been the benefit of branching out into the global real estate market for your business? And Karen, can we please start with you?
Yes. So branching out into the global market for me has opened up my eyes, my heart, and realizing that pretty much everybody in the world wants the same thing as I do. The transactions in other countries might be different. The economy there might be different, but in the end, everybody would like the same thing. Many people would like to own their own home wherever they are. I've met an extremely good group of international realtors or real estate agents in different countries. And it's a good talking point when you are just having a conversation with your own client, because you never know if that client is ever thinking of another home in another country or retiring there, or if they know somebody who might want to be investing in another country. When I was touring St. Thomas, I had taken some photos and posted something online, and one of my friends back in Ohio actually messaged me and said that when he's ready to purchase in St. Thomas, he would give me a call. He's like 4 years away from retirement, but that's where he plans on retiring. And it's just a good connection to have all the way around. And you know that you're working with good, solid people because you've met them, talked to them, and you've visited the properties.
That's great. Thank you. Rena, can you please share with us some of the benefits of branching out in the global real estate market?
The benefits are huge. I mean, I can talk about just the benefits for over an hour, but I'm just going to concentrate. I want to mention just an example. First, I love people. I mean, I truly love people. And talking to people, meeting agents, real estate agents, not just buyers and sellers. And connecting, for me, the slogan is connecting people with their dream globally. Because basically, you know, the world is so small, and especially now with the internet. But I want to mention what is it like the impact of global business. So when we represented the state of Nevada in MIPIM, which is in MIPIM, France, MIPIM is one of the largest real estate properties convention in Cannes, France. I was at the booth representing the state of Nevada. And then, so here I am, born in Israel, live in Nevada, you know, the USA. And I met this guy, developer from Germany, and he was looking for a company that will produce smart homes, gadgets. And he asked me if I know of anyone. I said, yes, I know this great company actually in Israel. So here's this huge connection from Nevada, Germany. I'm here in MIPIM connecting this client from Germany with an Israeli company in Israel. This is amazing. I love this. So I think the impact of having global, and I tell, you know, I teach classes as well. And I always start by asking agents, who has done global business? Who is international agent? So I see just a few, you know, CIPS. And then I ask again, I want you to think again, who is an international agent? And again, they look at each other and I said, okay, I want everyone raise your hands. And because if you are doing real estate, you are doing international, because international is about culture. And we're a melting pot here in the United States and in Nevada. We have people coming from all over the world, and it's all about the culture. You need to know how to speak. You might lose a deal because simply you don't know how to hand your business card. So that's my intake about international. It's all about culture. You are international. I know it sounds like it's big, oh, international, I don't know anything. Yes, you do. That's all I want to say. The impact is huge. You're losing a lot of business by not knowing the culture, and you don't have to really travel anywhere. You can start home, and you have to speak English. That's all you have to do.
That's awesome. Thank you, Rena. Tony, can you please tell us about the benefits that you've had in branching out into the global real estate market?
Well, global is my middle name. So I agree with Rena 100%. I think everyone should think about international, even though if you don't have any designation, as long as you're in real estate, because we are in a world where travel is so convenient now as well, with the exception of COVID, putting a hindrance on it. But now with Zoom, with everything else, it's so easy for us to reach out. As long as we speak the same language, or even through a translator, we'll be able to connect with someone on the other side of the world, and introduce them to Reno, or vice versa, and they can tell us about their own market or their local market, that maybe some of our investors here or some of our clients here in Reno, or in Vegas or in Nevada would be interested. So I think global is the future. I think for all of the realtors here in Nevada, we should think global always, and then continue to expand on our client base.
That's great. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Zacarias, can you please tell us the benefit of branching out into the global real estate market?
Yes. I benefited so much on global real estate personally. I use it as a tool that I can use for unlimited real estate business purposes abroad. And the main reason is to learn how other countries do their real estate business, especially where I was born in the Philippines, and their practice, culture, language, and also to help maintain bilateral business relationship, which I got from the CIPS course, and then bring those knowledge back to our local realtors.
Perfect. Thank you, Zacarias. All right, Kai, can you please tell us the benefit of branching out into the global real estate market?
Of course. So my perspective comes from someone who's only been in real estate specifically for a year with Nevada Gem Real Estate. So I don't have my designation yet. However, what I love is that one, global real estate just opens you up to a whole new world of people to serve and help. And why I got into it too is I was just so excited to meet incredible people like the people on this panel, so that I can learn from my colleagues who are in this industry specifically. And that is why I got super excited about the Global Committee, learning, getting educated. And so for those who are new like myself, this is a great way just to get educated, to refer people to those who actually know what they're doing, learn from that experience, and therefore we can continue to bring people together. So yeah.
That is perfect. Thank you. Okay, this next question I think is really fun. Can you please tell me what you love about working in global? Let's go ahead and get started with Rena.
The fun, that's the fun part. First off, you get to travel and it's part of your business. So I think that's amazing. You get to, I can speak, from my experience. I just love to explore different foods, explore different culture, look at new places, because I think it's amazing. So that's the fun. Traveling, meeting other people, we go to different, we travel with different organization, if it's ARIA or FIAPSI or kind of different organization, if it's international, you get to meet other realtors that do different business, and that's fun. It's really always fun. The dynamic is totally different. The group that I travel with, and Karen is one of them, we always have fun. We're actually going to travel to Dubai next week to attend another convention, and the dynamic there is always fun. So I think it's kind of a combination between the business part and then the exploring culture as well. So we get to explore the place. So once we're done with the business, then we also give it like another few days to really explore the place, because that's how you learn. And then the connection, connecting with people, and they literally become your friends forever. It's kind of like really expanding your family. So it's an extended family. So there's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun when we travel.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Rena. Tony, can you please share with us what have been some fun parts about global?
Well, again, I agree with Rena. Travel, I miss traveling. I used to travel a lot. But now with COVID, obviously, we don't travel that much anymore, and that's not good. And hopefully, this thing will be over sooner than later. Traveling is great, and then you get to see some of the old acquaintances from years past, and then you get to meet new people, and you get to tell them about your market. You get to tell them about Reno. A lot of people internationally don't know where Reno is. They've never heard of Reno. They've heard of Las Vegas, of course, lost wages. They've lost wages there, but they haven't heard of Reno. But if you tell them Lake Tahoe, well, even some of the people that I talk to internationally, they haven't even heard of Lake Tahoe. They don't know how beautiful this lake is.
Oh, wow.
And yes, it's one of the top 10 destinations here in America, and some of the people haven't heard of it. So it's a great way to tell them about our market, even for them just to come out to see the lake. I think it's worth it. So it's a lot of fun. I love talking to my old friends and old acquaintances and then meet new people and whatnot. And then when I come back here, I'm able to introduce them to this new market, and that's just awesome.
Thank you, Tony. Zacarias, can you please tell us, what do you find so fun about global real estate?
Yes, I agree with everybody that traveling is fun. It's like no nation so distant, from us, and we are like all close together in business and in real estate. That's how I see global and real estate is.
That's great. Thank you, Zacarias. Dell, are you with us? Can you tell us, what do you find fun about global real estate?
The world is getting smaller. We can talk to somebody on WhatsApp in India. I do that 3 times a week to a friend who comes to visit us. Anyhow, the real estate thing, it doesn't matter if it's India, China, New Zealand, Canada, Dominican Republic. It's just getting so much easier to connect with people and share things. I mean, share what we do. I mean, our MLS thing is so funny because a lot of countries don't have that same thing, but we can share it and tell them what we have, and they say, "Oh, cool," and so you might try that.
I loved what you said, Dell, about how the world is getting smaller. And that feels so true, especially right now when it's so easy to communicate with others all around the world so instantly. Kai, can you please share with us what you find so fun about global?
Of course. I mean, what I love most personally is that, I get to serve and add value to people from all over the world. So it opens it up to literally the entire world, which is super, super fun. And of course, building relationships and learning from others who are also in the global market, because, not that I can't, but learning about all these different countries and all of, what's going on specifically in real estate, there's a lot going on, but networking with other people who do know about specific countries is amazing, and having the ability to share that knowledge with someone and referring them to that person, and then, referring them back to me. I mean, Hawaii is technically part of the United States, but there is a cultural difference. And so getting the opportunity to share what I know about Hawaii to other people who are working with those that are wanting to move to Reno or other places, I think it's just so much fun. And I just love being able to grow and then gain new perspective from other people so that I can continue to serve our community at large.
That's incredible. Thank you, Kai. Karen, I can just picture what you're going to say.
I love the opportunity that you get to discover another world, another country. You get to discover how they do business, possibly how they run their government, how they run their real estate association. And I love about learning new things, learning and discovering, and the people that you meet are really so loving, caring, and kind. And you also get to demystify all the years of stuff that you have been fed through the media or through your family or through your friends, and realize that some of these countries are actually very, very forward thinking. They are, it's a time where like sometimes we should be taking the good from the US and the good from these other countries and molding it all together so we can be closer as one. And the other thing is, you know, people think that Las Vegas is just the strips and the casino. And when you go to these other countries, you can actually explain to them that, you know, we do live in houses, we do have schools, we have banks, you know, we have more than just the strip in Las Vegas. So it's kind of like we see them as one way, they see us as just the strip, but then you open that all up and again, it's one, it feels to me like one close-knit community and family, no matter where like the Las Vegas global business goes. Like here, as I stated, it's like we are a family, but then when we have traveled to New Zealand or Greece or any place else, it's like we make family connections over there. And some of us are still Facebook messaging the people that we met or emailing each other back and forth, or we're still trying to get deals done back and forth and, you know, some marketing stuff. So I just think the time has come that everybody just needs to open up and relate back to one another.
That's perfect. Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
Okay, so thank you for sharing with all of our members about your global experiences in real estate. And I know that so many of our members are wondering, what opportunities are there out there for them, and how do they get into global real estate? So if you're meeting a realtor who has never even considered that they're working with international people or people of different cultures, what would you give them as advice on how to get started in the global real estate market? Karen, let's go ahead and get started with you.
Well, first off, I would start by telling them that they should join their global business committee. And just for those who have a stigma, you don't have to speak a different language in order to join the global business committee. You can join that, take your CIPS course so you can learn a little bit more about the world in general. And then you can't just sit back and wait for this international business to come to you. You actually have to either make the connections now via Zoom or, you know, fly to another country, find out where they're having real estate expos or real estate markets, and go there, immerse yourself in the culture, and then make sure wherever you're going, you are trying to connect yourself with one of the best real estate agents in that island or on that country. Know if you need a notary or if you need to deal with an attorney or if it's a title company, and make sure that they're connecting you also to contractors in different countries, because sometimes you can do marketing for those properties or co-listing. Co-listing might be to an extreme because I know only so many associations have access to stuff like that, but it's just always good to have in your back pocket. If you have that client who's got that $21 million that they need to invest in something, you can say, oh, I have vacant land in Grenada, or I know somebody who has vacant land in Grenada or Barbados or wherever the case may be. And, you know, they might be interested in developing that. There's a lot out there, and you just can't close yourself off to something so small. You have to be able to expand. And that's it.
Thank you. That's a lot. Thank you. Rena, please, can you share with us or share with our viewers, how could they get started in the global real estate market?
I always say, first identify your target audience. So pick a country, pick a continent, pick a culture. That would be the first, because you need to, when you say international, it's big. It's just like you're saying real estate. What part of real estate we're doing? So pick first which culture or country, or, you know, I would start with a culture. If you don't know much about really international, I would start with culture. What's your interest? Where would you like to travel? Okay, let's start with this. And then I would start getting involved with local organizations, just like Karen said. Find who is your global, could be global chamber of commerce, could be a global NAR offer, any committee. It doesn't have to be just, anything that is international in your area. That's where I would start. I would go online, go on Facebook, and then be part of global groups. There's so many global groups, and that's part of the marketing, but I won't touch about that. And then get connected with global agents. Find out who speaks another language or who likes to travel and is doing business in another country. That's where I would go. Also, attend different, we have different, and I'm sure in Reno they have the same thing in parts of Nevada. We have different, like every year we have huge events like Italian, I'm not sure if they say market, but those huge events, and in Greece, and from Italy, and now we have Lebanon. We have like once a year those big events. Go volunteer, literally go volunteer. That's how you get to know people. So that's where I would start. And then, but I think the best the best resources would be to start with the Global Business Committee.
Thank you, Rena. Tony.
Yes.
What wise words of advice could you give to our viewers on how to get started in this market?
I think, the key word here is differentiation. Obviously, at this Zoom meeting, everyone agrees that going global is a must, or going global is so essential. But I don't think every realtor thinks that way. So you need to reach out to more realtors and let them know that going global is going to be your differentiation. You're going to have another weapon. You're going to have another market where you can reach out to, where you can source clients, where you can build relationships. I think differentiation is so important in any business, and we need to have that differentiation.
Thank you, Tony. Zacarias.
Consider becoming a global real estate as a tool that you can use for unlimited real estate business, and be a CIPS at least. And the CIPS is their goal, their main reason of having this beautiful organization internationally is to learn how other countries do their real estate business, specifically their practice, their culture, their language, and also to help maintain bilateral business relationship. And that's the most beautiful thing in what I learned in CIPS.
Awesome. Thank you, Zacarias. Hey, Dale, if you have a person who wants to get into working in global real estate, what guidance or advice would you give to them?
Need to realize the state of the world. We're not just a cosmic universe, we're a multiverse. So if you want to get into real estate, please learn, number one, geography of the world. Not hard, but get your CIPS. My trainers were fabulous. I all the trainers on CIPS that I've seen are fabulous. Go from there. Get involved, be passionate about what you believe in, and again, I'm bringing up a political idea, but just be passionate about the world.
Thank you, Dale. Kai, I can't wait to hear what you have to say to our viewers.
So my encouragement to people just starting out is just to get active. That's what I did, and I'm still learning. I want to get my CIPS and everything else, but just by jumping in and joining the Global Business Committee, that was my first step. I kind of Googled it, looked it up, got really excited, and introduced me to such amazing people. And I felt like that was the start of the snowball. because now I am learning from everyone. They're telling me different experiences. They're telling me about different designations that I can get. I've been able to now attend different educational events, join different opportunities on Facebook. And so, yeah, my encouragement is to start there, or find someone who's already doing something like that and then go from that direction.
That's wonderful. Actually, I think that's how I got started, is like, hi. Well, I just want to say thank you, Del, Kai, Karen, Rena, Tony, and Zacarias for being here today. We truly appreciate you letting us into your global world of real estate. I know I learned a few things today that I look forward to implementing in my own business. And thank you to our members for joining us today. If you're interested in going global, please reach out to your amazing Reno Sparks Association of Realtors to learn more and to be added to the contact list for upcoming meetings, events, and enroll in a CIPS designation class. CIPS stands for Certified International Property Specialist. It's a 5-day class. It covers transaction in how transactions are handled in other countries and the various different cultural differences. It's amazing. Some of the best classes I've ever taken since being in real estate. And so, well, I hope to see you at a future meeting, and thank you for joining us.